Alright, next bit, surface area of a cylinder. So, a cylinder is actually composed of a rectangle and two circles. Obviously the circles are the ends of the shape. The actual rectangle is going to be 2 pi r, which is the circumference, times by the height. So the curved bit is just 2 pi times by the height, which of course is 2 pi r h. So the curved surface area of a cylinder is just 2 pi RH, and that excludes the two ends. So it seems weird, but the entire middle bit is actually a nice rectangle. You can actually fold up a rectangle into the middle of a cylinder. So curved surface area is 2 pi RH. So obviously, if you find the surface area of a cylinder with two open ends, all you're going to use is 2 pi RH. So no ends. Alright. Now a closed cylinder is, you've got your 2 pi RH plus two additional circles. And the area of one circle is pi r squared. So pi r squared, and this is 2 pi RH. So to get the surface area of the entire closed cylinder, it's just going to be add the two together. So pi r squared plus pi r squared plus 2 pi RH. So these are the two circles. And obviously pi r squared plus pi r squared is 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi RH. So these are the ends, that's the ends, and this is the curved surface. So essentially you're adding two circles to a rectangle. So 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi RH. Now if, for example, say one end is missing, it'll be pi r squared without the two. So you might have to adapt this to meet different questions. But generally speaking, closed cylinder, everything intact, 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi RH. Okay, so first question, this cylinder here. So find the surface area, diameter is 12 and the height is 20. Alright, so remember the formula? SA equals 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi RH equals 2 times pi times r squared, which is the radius. This is the diameter, so I need to halve that, so r is 6, so 6 squared plus, this is very important, this is plus and not times, plus 2 times pi times 6 times the height, which you can see here is 20. Now put that all into your calculator. I believe you get 980.1769, blah, blah, blah. So unrounded answer, 1 dp, so we're going to approximate that to 980.2 square centimeters. Alright, question 2. Find the area of the label, very important, just for the label, not the entire circle or cylinder, on a cylindrical can, which is radius of 8 and height of 15, so R is 8, H is 15. Also exact form. Exact means leave in terms of pi. Alright, so normally we have SA equals 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi RH, but we just want the label, which does not include the circles. So this time around, we don't want this. We just want 2 pi RH. So 2 times pi times a radius of 8 times a height of 15. Now, normally we would just type that up, but it does say exact, so I'm going to leave the pi there and just multiply by numbers. So 2, 8, and 15, which is 240. So 240 pi square centimeters. All right, question 3. Surface area of a closed half cylinder with radius 0.5 and height of 3. Obviously it's half a cylinder, so there's two half circles, but you probably can already see by now, when you actually make a fraction cylinder, you actually create an additional rectangle. So we have half a cylinder plus an additional rectangle. So let's take our formula again. So SA equals 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi RH. Now we need to change this to meet this question. Obviously, the circles, we've divided the whole thing by 2. So these 2 half circles actually make a whole circle. So really this 2 can actually disappear. Same logic here. This entire rectangle, we've now halved it. So really, this 2 can also go. So pi r squared plus pi r h. But we have an additional rectangle. So we're actually going to add an additional length times breadth. Okay, so halve these and add an additional rectangle. Now we sub in pi times the radius, which is 0.5, so 0.5 squared, plus pi times 0.5 times the height of 3, plus an additional rectangle, which is 3 times the whole distance here, which is going to be 1, 2 lots of 0.5. All right, that ends up being 8.49778, blah, blah, blah. We've got 2 decimal places, so we're going to approximate it to 8.50 square meters. Okay, so my suggestion every single time is to take the formula, which is actually on your reference sheet as well, which is good, your formula sheet, and modify it to meet the question. This is half a cylinder, so these go away. And then obviously we have an additional rectangle, so plus rectangle. And again, anytime you cut up a rectangle or cut up a cylinder, you create additional faces, which are rectangles. All right, so that is surface area of cylinders.